Ready to turn heads this Valentine's Day? In today's tutorial, I'm adding a little twist to a classic smoky eye, so stay tuned to find out how to elevate this look to make it unforgettable. I'm going to show you how to create this subtle soft wing, so even if you have slightly hooded eyes, you will still be able to pull this off. This was the winning look that you guys voted for in the poll over on my community tab, so let's get on with today's look. I've already applied Beauty Pie's Featherlight SPF 50, which works fantastic under makeup. It works as kind of like a hybrid primer and sunscreen in one. Once that's absorbed into the skin, I'm then going in with the Vita Liberata Beauty Blur Face, which I will come back to in a moment. As I quickly wanted to show you, this is a new set of brushes from Morphe, which I'm going to be using today. I've never tried them before. This is a set of 34 complexion and eye brushes. They're vegan and they have silver ion infused bristles, which are for antibacterial benefits. So I wanted to try them, see what they were like and let you know my thoughts. So I'm going to start with this brush here to blend in the beauty balm. This is the M102 rounded foundation brush, which is great for creams and liquids. So getting back to the Vita Liberata Beauty Blur Face, as you'll see that I've only applied this kind of around the circumference of my face and the high points. Because I am oily combination, this over the entire face would just be too much of a glow underneath. As the day wears on, my foundation is always going to get glowier because I'm naturally oily. But this adds a beautiful golden feel to the skin and it gives a glow from within underneath your foundation. As this look is geared to a date night, we want our body to look equally as beautiful as our complexion. So I'm going in with the Vita Liberata Body Blur. The shade I'm using is medium, like the one I used for the face. Not only does the medium give an instant bronze to the skin, it also has this light reflecting radiant glow. So it just makes our skin look really sheeny without looking too shiny. And instead we look like we might have just spent a week on holiday in the sun. I really love this product. A little tip when applying it is not to apply moisturizer to your skin first. Apply this just to dry skin, and that will make sure it doesn't break down the product and it won't separate, and it will make sure that it lasts on the skin really well. It's definitely kind of transfer proof, but it does wash off at the end of the night. As I'm only filming this for you guys, I'm not going to put it down my forearms or my hands, but if I was going on a night out, I would make sure that any skin that's exposed, I would place it on those areas. So if my forearms are a little bit paler during this tutorial, please forgive me. But when it comes to your hands, make sure you apply with whatever's left on the bristles. So go sparingly on the hands and the fingers. Knuckles and fingers tend to take on too much colour. Because this makeup is geared towards evening, I'm opting for a foundation that is medium coverage but buildable. I know a few of you requested a foundation that was full coverage, but even if you have problematic skin, I would definitely opt for more of a medium coverage and then just go in and spot conceal the areas that need a little bit more attention. If you followed me for a while, you'll know one of my favourite foundations is the Makeup Forever HD Skin. They also do it in a glow version. This is more of a natural finish. This one is definitely geared towards normal and then combination skin types, and the glow version is definitely geared towards normal and drier skin types. I'm using the same brush to apply this foundation that I used for the Beauty Blur. Now I always love to use a beauty blender over using a brush, so I really wanted to try this and see how it came out, because this is kind of like a duo fibre brush. It's very light at the tips, so it applies a little bit less product. I prefer that rather than overloading the skin with a dense brush. And you'll see my reaction in a moment when I get the mirror out to check it up close. So just so you know, I've applied one layer all over the face and now I'm going in with a second layer to build this up so it's still kind of medium to full coverage, but it's not heavy on the skin. I love this foundation. It's one of those foundations you can really work on without ever looking cakey. Normally I feel the need to go in with a beauty blender over the top of a foundation to get rid of any streaky marks, but with this I didn't need to at all. It looked fantastic. So I think this is probably going to be a new favourite for me, coming away from the beauty blender and using this, especially as this has those silver ion bristles, which is great for antibacterial purposes as I mentioned earlier. I'm going to go in with some concealer, so I'm using the Morphe M131, which is a concealer brush, and I'm going to use that with the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer. You know I love this because it packs a punch with pigment, but it's not heavy in its consistency, it's still quite light. So I really like this just for the inner corner and outer corner of the eyes. It helps to lift this area, and because it does have quite a lot of pigment in it, you don't always need to prime the eye underneath with a colour corrector of any sorts. That being said, if you do have very dark circles underneath the eyes, HUDA does have a colour corrector that you can purchase, and it's slightly thinner in its consistency, it's slightly more watery, and it pairs nicely underneath this concealer so you're not left with a heavy finish. For the eye makeup, today I'm going to use the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. If I can find dupes for each of the shadows that I use, I will list them in the description bar. I'm taking the shade Whisper on my ring finger and applying that over the mobile lid most of the way across. This is a light peach and it has a metallic sheen to it. It's very, very pretty. So I'm also popping a little bit of that with my finger on the inner corner of the eye. This definitely works best with your fingers. You won't get the same payoff by trying to use a brush. On the outer half of the mobile lid, coming towards the centre to meet the first shade that we applied, I'm taking this shade called Travertine, which is a light brown. It also has this metallic sheen. Again, definitely works best if you apply it with your fingers. So start on the outer corner, and then as you get towards the centre, just lightly buff it into Whisper that we've already applied. To make this pop, I'm going to layer Delilah over the top of Travertine. This really does have a beautiful sparkle. Again, I'm pressing this on my finger. I feel like this minimises the amount of fallout that you get with this particular colour. However, it is more or less unavoidable. You will get some fall down. So what I would recommend is either doing this before you do your foundation, or be prepared to wipe away underneath your eyes and then just reapply your concealer or foundation over this area. Or you can use shadow shields, which will catch any fall down. The next eye brush I'm going to use is the M331. This works best with powder eyeshadows, and I'm going to use that with the shade Mesh. This is a matte eyeshadow, and I'm going to be layering this and another colour in a moment, so I will come back to it, but this is just going through the socket at the moment. I like to create a winged out look. If you have hooded eyes, or if your eyes are more rounded and you don't like the winged look, opt for a more classic rounded smoky eye. I'm then taking the M332 eye blender. This is slightly more rounded, and I'm taking this into the shade Fair. We're going to use this to help make sure we have a beautiful blend on this colour because it's very light, but we don't want it to look at all patchy. So if we buff over this, it will create more of a velvet finish. You can use any eyeshadow that's a similar shade to your skin tone. You can also use a translucent powder for this. And use this to buff over your transitional shade to make sure it's absolutely seamless. So once I've done that, I'm going to go back in with the shade Mesh and reapply it to deepen it, but then also go back over with a little bit of Fair, again, just to make sure it's really, really seamless and it just buffs into nothing as it reaches the brow bone. This is where your skills are going to start to come into play, and we're going to have a little bit of fun. I'm taking the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Glide pencil in black. I love this because it's super soft and it's great for blending. It also has impeccable staying power. From the centre of the eye, you want to keep this close to the root of the eyelashes and just thicken it as we get to the outer corner. And then on the lower lid, we're going to keep this on the outer third and make sure it meets at the corner of the top lid. If you have subtle hooded eyes, you can absolutely recreate this look. I'm then taking this Morphe M301 brush, which is like a small smudger brush. And I'm dipping it into this matte eyeshadow called Silhouette. This is like a taupe brown. It's got slightly cool undertones. It works beautifully over the black. And we are going to work this directly over where we've applied the eyeliner. The key is not to start working it upwards and to try and blend it out. We're just going to keep buffing over it. And then you will start to see that the seams become softer. The edge of the bristles will just gently scuff the top, and then you'll start to see that it gets this kind of blurred finish. In a moment, I will talk you through how you can tackle this with a slight hood to your eyes. But the key is to make sure you're looking directly straight into a mirror so you can see that you're creating this kind of horizontal line that is slightly elevated only from the lower eyelash line upwards. So the actual wing itself, when you look straight into a mirror, should look more or less straight along the top line. But then the lower eyelash line comes up to meet it, which is what's giving that lifted finish. Hopefully that makes sense. So here I'm buffing the lower eyelash line. However, if it does come down too low, do not panic. You can go in with a cotton bud and just gently buff over the part that's lower. You can also do this with concealer afterwards, but this will help to minimize the amount of product that migrates downwards. We have some residual eyeliner in the bristles, so I'm using that to pull that colour across the entire lash line very close to the root of the eyelashes. Now this is what I was trying to demonstrate. If you have slightly hooded eyes, here I'm kind of pushing my brows down to create a bit more of a hood so you can see. We're taking that eyeliner directly across the crease of the eye. so it goes in a straight line onto the rest of the mobile lid. When you look down, this may create a bit of an odd shape, what is also known as a bat wing or an L shape. That doesn't matter. Keep this line here directly straight so that when you are looking up, you have a perfect seamless wing. If you want a very smoky finish, which I'm going for today, we're going to line the entire waterline with the same black pencil. I know lots of you always say you don't find a good enough pencil that stays in place all day. Trust me, try this pencil. I'll link it below. It's fantastic. It's actually quite difficult to remove at the end of the day. Use an oil-based remover and it will come away. I want this to be quite feline. I'm going for a very almond shape. So I'm going to enhance this by creating a sharp point on the inner corner of the eye. I actually ended up using the Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid eyeliner because, as you can see, the two eyeliner pens that I tried were just not coming out when layered over an eyeshadow. So I traced over this with the liquid eyeliner. Then I'm going in with my curlers. I'm using the Refa eyelash curlers, but if you have small lids, I will link in the description bar a small lash curler that will be perfect for you. I'm applying a light coat of mascara. This one is the Kitten Lash Mascara by Lisa Eldridge. If you want something that doesn't flake, doesn't move, that has some flexibility in the lashes so they're not stiff and hard, give this a try. It's fantastic. Instead of applying a strip lash, which I think will overwhelm the eyes, I'm going to go in with these doll lashes, which are very spiky. I will link an alternative to these because they're quite expensive and very difficult to get your hands on, especially if you're in the UK. There are some very affordable alternatives which work equally as well. But as I have these, I'm going to use them. I love using a spiky lash, especially with a smoky eye, because we don't want to completely eradicate all the work that we've done, especially as this smoky eye is a bit more of a wing and it's not completely over the entire eyelid. So we want to be able to still see the lovely colours that we've got on the lid space that's lighter. So using a spiky lash means we get that feminine finish, but you can still see through the eyelashes. I'm spacing these with a few mil in between each eyelash, and I'm using a mix of 13, 12 and 11 mil. So you can see when we look up, we are still getting the feminine appearance that false lashes really helps to enhance with the eyes, but we're not losing any of the eyeshadow that we've applied. This of course is completely optional. If you like how your eyes look just with mascara, then you can do that. But if you've never given these a try, I highly recommend it. They are really, really pretty. Moving back onto the skin, I'm going to take the By Terry Hyaluronic Serum Concealer. This one's in a slightly lighter shade than my foundation, so we're going to use this to brighten the centre of the face. So I'm popping a little bit on my chin, a little bit around my nose where I tend to get redness, so this extra coverage will stop that shining through, and then also on my cheeks to brighten the forefront of the face. I'm still using that same brush that we used to apply our foundation and stippling over that to make sure everything is nice and seamless. I'm now taking the M204 brush. This is great for creams and liquids, and it's a slightly smaller rounded brush so it can be a bit more precise, and I'm going to use that to apply the Nude Stick Stacks in the shade Sunstone, which will add a bit more warmth, but I want to be really strategic and not apply too much to the skin. We already have a nice glow from the beauty blur that we applied, but also the foundation has given us some colour to our face. This is going to add a bit more warmth around the high points of the face and then also in the sockets of our cheeks. We don't want it to be too cool because we're going for a bronzed look, but if we apply too much warmth, it will completely change the colour of our face and we'll end up being darker than our body. So using a smaller brush means you can be more precise, and using a stipple motion means you won't overload the skin. Next up, I'm going to use these two shades by Daniel Sandler. I'm going to use the watercolour blush in Gentle, and then I'm also going to top that with the Glow product. I'm using the Morphe M242 Slanty Cream Liquid Bronzer Brush, and using a stipple motion, I'm starting on the outer half of my cheek and then bringing that forward. What I really like about this is it has a slight peachiness to it, so that if you've got any residual product in your bristles and your under eye area is a little bit bright, you can just pull this forward and it will just add some colour to this area, toning that down a little bit. You'll see that's what I've done because I don't like my under eye area to be too stark or too bright. Using that same brush and some of the glow, I'm taking this over the cheekbone area in a stipple motion, and I think the combo of this is very beautiful. As this is a date night, I don't want to be shiny, so I'm going to take some Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Powder through the centre of the face. I love that this really does give an airbrushed finish to the skin. If you are very oily, you can use something like the Laura Mercier Translucent Powder or the Huda Beauty Easy Bake, as these are a little bit more heavy duty. Now, as I promised, I would do a nude glossy lip. I'm going to take the new lip liner by MAC in the shade Cool Spice, and I think this might be my new favourite lip liner. I really didn't think this was going to be for me, but I think it's so pretty. I'm going to give you two versions of a nude lip. They're going to look really similar, but one's going to be what I would say is more full coverage lip, more glam, which is the first look, and then I will show you just a subtle version of the same lip look. It might seem counterintuitive, but trust me, they do look slightly different. So I'm going in with Undressed by Anastasia Beverly Hills, which I think gives more of a coverage to the lips. It's definitely a bit more full on. So this is going on the centre. I've used my lips to blend it in, and then I'm going to take the Cool Spice lip pencil and fill in the outer border again. This creates a bit of an ombre effect to the lips, so it's nuder in the centre, but it's not overwhelmingly nude. So I really like this. This is nice. It's a little bit more full on than I prefer to wear on my lips. So I'm going to take this off, apply a little bit of residual foundation to my lips, and then I'm going to show you a slightly subtle version of the same kind of lip look. I'm going to take Boy Bait by MAC, which is more of a gloss. As you can see, it does have a nude finish to it. So I'm going to apply that all over the lip. And now I'm going to redefine the lip line with Cool Spice again, but not quite as much. And because it's going over the gloss, it's a bit more subtle. I really do like this. I like both of the lip looks, but because I prefer something that's a bit more subtle, I wanted to give you two versions of a nude glossy lip. So if you prefer fuller coverage, more like a lipstick, then go with Undressed. But if you prefer a softer, more glossy finish, then go with Boy Bait. I love this look. I hope you like the twist of the smoky eye with a slight subtle wing. I'll also show you this makeup outside of studio lighting. This is on my mobile by the window in natural daylight using my front camera. Lots of you absolutely love this look over on Instagram, so I hope it's delivered and you enjoyed this Valentine's inspired date night makeup look. As always, everything will be listed and linked in the description bar. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!